Hello, I'm Kate Stichin on InstaForex TV with the fresh Forex news. The growth of the Japanese yen observed recently will again start, since the perspectives of the world's economic recovery become more uncertain and the international investors are lesser inclined to the risk the asylum currencies such as the yen again come to foreground. Rather than to fall in view of the uncertainty concerning the revival of the Japanese economy and large budget deficit of the country, the yen will continue to increase, which has already led to the falling of the dollar-yen pair from the level of 95, where it was traded earlier this year, to the rate below 90. The perspectives of the world's economy started to look less positive after during last week the data were very often disappointing. Last Friday, the USA revised downward the advance of the GDP in the first quarter. It is expected that this Friday weak employment data will be published because the temporary employers hired for the census will not be taken into account. As to other countries, then due to the fact that last week the leaders of G20 reached the agreement about the reduction of the budget deficit by half till 2013, it was an impression that the recovery will be even slower and painful than it was expected earlier. The hopes for the fact that China started to revalue its currency after it weakened the peg of the yuan to the dollar also were destroyed. The stronger yuan could raise the competitive ability of the export from other large economies. However, Beijing until now was successfully preserving the advance of the yuan near the recent levels. Meanwhile, the fears concerning the debt crisis of Eurozone did not disappear. The conditions on money markets remain tough. The worries in regard to the European bank sector remain high. In this case, this week the attention will be paid to the large-scale operation of the European Central Bank on the refinancing. The influence from the part of the political events is also important for the sentiments on the world's markets, especially if the German Chancellor Angela Merkel does not achieve the victory of her candidate on the presidential elections during the Federal Assembly meeting this Wednesday. The yen continued to upturn despite the negative news from Japan. The disappointing data on the retail sales published on Monday and the fact that Japan was excluded from the agreement of G20 on the reduction of the deficit because of the large budget gaps almost did not affect the advance of the yen. The yen may show the stronger increase against other currencies, except from the dollar. In this case, the analysts of the UBS recommend to open short positions on the Australian dollar-yen pair if the investors' unwillingness to risk starts again, having activated the outflow of funds from high-yield currencies in favor of the asylum currencies. It was Forex News provided to you by InstaForex News Team. Goodbye.